myself Suraj Yadav. Today we are talking about multithreading. Java is a multi-threading programming language, which means we can develop multi-thread programming using Java. A multi-threaded programming contains two or more parts that can run concurrently, and each part can handle different tasks at the same time, making optimal use of the available resource, especially when your computer has multiple CPU. Now we're talking about the multitasking. Multitasking is when multiple processors share common processing resource such as a CPU. Uh, Multi-threading extend the idea of multitasking into application where you can subdivide a specific operator within a single application into individual threads. Each of the threads can run in parallel. The OS divides processing time only among different applications, but among each threads within applications. Now we're talking about cycle of the thread. A thread goes through various stages in the life cycle. For example, thread is born, started, runs, and then dies. The stages of the life cycle. Now now thread begins its life cycle in the nav state. It remains in this state until the program started the threads. It is also referred as an born thread. Now we're talking about runnable. After the newly born thread is started, the threads become runnable. A thread in this state is considered to be executing its task. After the runnable, we are talking about the waiting. Sometimes the thread transitions to the waiting state while the thread wait for the another thread to perform task. A thread transitions back to the runnable state only when another thread signals the waiting thread to continue executing. Now we're talking about time waiting. A renewable thread can enter the time waiting state for specified interval of time. A thread in this state transition back to the runnable state when that time interval expire, or when the event is waiting for occurs. Terminated. A runnable thread enters the terminated state when it's complete its task or otherwise terminated. Now we're talking about the thread priorities. Every thread has a priority too that helps the operating system determine the order which threads are scheduled. The Java thread priority in this range between the minimum priority and maximum priority. By default, every thread is given normal priority, at a constant of 5. Threads with a higher priority are more important to program, should be allocated processor time before lower priority threads. However, thread priority cannot guarantee the order in the which threads executed, which are very much platform dependent. After the priority, we are talking about the runnable interfaces. If your class is extended to be executed as a thread, then you can achieve this by implementing a runnable interface. Now we are talking about the thread methods. First one is the public static void yield, cause the currently running threads to yield to any other threads of the same priority that are waiting to scheduled. And second one is a public static void sleep, causes the currently running threads to block for the least the specified number of the millisecond. Now we're talking about public static boolean holds lock. Return true if the current threads hold the lock of the given object. Now we're talking about the public static thread current thread. Return a reference to current running thread, which is the thread that invokes this method. Public static void dump stack. Print the stack trace for the currently running threads, which is useful when debugging and multi-thread application. This is the multi-threading in Java. Thank you so much.